Samuel Pepys' diary is one of the most valuable historical documents from 17th century England. His entries provide detailed accounts of events, daily life, politics, and his personal experiences. Below is an expanded version of his diary entry from January 12, 1666, with explanatory notes to offer further insight into the context. 12th, up, and to my office, where all the morning I was busy. Up, Pepys often began his entries with a note on when he got out of bed. He was an early riser, often starting his day around 6 a.m. To my office, Samuel Pepys worked as a civil servant and held the position of Clerk of the Acts to the Navy Board, a significant role in overseeing the naval administration. His office work involved handling naval affairs, managing shipbuilding, and maintaining correspondence with officials. Busy, Pepys was generally very diligent about his work, often describing his tasks and responsibilities in the Navy office. His work would have involved both managing the logistics of naval affairs and dealing with bureaucracy. At noon, by invitation, to the King's Head at the corner of Chancery Lane, where we met by appointment to talk of business. King's Head, this was a popular tavern in London, commonly used for meetings by businessmen, politicians, and other notable figures. The tavern was a place for informal gatherings where business was often conducted over meals or drinks. Chancery Lane, a prominent street in London, known for housing lawyers, legal offices, and businesses at the time. Met by appointment to talk of business, this suggests a planned meeting with associates to discuss official matters. In the 17th century, much of the business of government, trade, and diplomacy occurred in informal settings such as taverns or coffee houses. And here dined, where was very good discourse and good company. Dining was an important social event, and meals were often a time for networking, making business deals, and discussing personal matters. Pepys frequently mentions dining out in his diary, often with colleagues or friends. Good discourse and good company. Pepys valued intelligent conversation, and this entry highlights his enjoyment of discussing important matters with people he respected. The term discourse implies thoughtful discussions, possibly related to naval affairs or other topics of interest at the time. After dinner, I took my leave, and went home, and there found my wife very well. Took my leave, this phrase indicates that Pepys politely excused himself from the gathering. Went home, Pepys lived with his wife, Elizabeth, and his household was often a subject of his writings. At this time, he had been married for a few years, though his relationship with his wife was complicated by his numerous affairs, which he candidly recorded in his diary. Found my wife very well. Pepys mentions his wife's health, which was sometimes a source of concern for him, especially in the context of her illnesses and his frequent absences. And with my servant's help, got into my study, and did a little business, and so to bed. My servant's help. Pepys had several servants who assisted him with personal tasks. Servants were common among the middle and upper classes, and their roles were integral to the smooth running of daily life. Study. Pepys had a private study where he could conduct personal business, write letters, or engage in intellectual pursuits. It was a place where he worked on both his professional responsibilities and his private projects, including his diary. Did a little business. In this case, business likely refers to personal matters or paperwork that he handled at home, possibly relating to his duties or financial matters. So to bed. Pepys ends his daily account in a typical fashion, noting that he went to bed after finishing his tasks. Sleep was an important part of his daily routine, and his entries typically ended with this simple note. Historical context. The Great Fire of London, 1666. Pepys is writing in the context of the year when the Great Fire of London took place, September 1666. His diaries provide detailed observations about the fire and its aftermath. On January 12, 1666, though, the fire was still months away. The Navy and England's naval power. As Clerk of the Acts to the Navy Board, Pepys played a crucial role in managing England's naval fleet, which was essential to the country's military power. His work involved everything from budgeting and procurement to overseeing ship construction. This role made him a key player in the administration of the Royal Navy, and much of his diary focuses on this aspect of his life. Social and political context. The mid-17th century in England was a time of political and social upheaval. The country was recovering from the English Civil War 1642 to 1651, and King Charles II had been restored to the throne in 1660, after the period of the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell. Pepys' diary reflects the complex political atmosphere of the time, as well as his observations of court life, government affairs, and military operations. Conclusion: Pepys' diary offers a fascinating glimpse into the life of a 17th-century civil servant and the world around him. His personal reflections, mixed with detailed accounts of daily events, provide rich historical insights. The January 12, 1666, entry, although seemingly mundane, shows his involvement in both formal and informal business, his personal life with his wife, and his meticulous approach to daily tasks, all of which were recorded with a sense of honesty and detail that makes his diaries invaluable today. This content has been adapted from the powerful features of Polyspeaks for You, South Africa's leading accessibility software. Learn more at www.polyspeaksforyou.co.za. We invite you to support this meaningful dyslexic initiative, crafted and developed by an individual who personally understands the challenges of dyslexia.